Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on Across the Great Australian Bight. I'm really excited to share this itinerary with you today. My name is Diane and I'm a sales executive at Coral Expeditions. Today we're actually joined by our expedition leader Ashleigh Peters, who has been on one of the maiden voyages for Across the Australian Bight and help lead the team. So thank you, Ash, and welcome.
Thank you very much. Very excited to talk to everyone about this wonderful itinerary.
So just tell us a bit about your role at Coral Expeditions and what you do there.
Okay, so I am one of the expedition leaders on the Coral Adventurer, sometimes the other ships as well. And my role is to lead a wonderful team of expedition crew as well as guest lecturers. And primarily our role is to take you on all of the wonderful adventures, take you on all of the trips and educate you as you go. So I facilitate and organize all of that. I love hiking and I'm a massive water baby. I love the ocean and this itinerary actually has got a great combination of both of those things. So I'm also a sailor, so anything that combines all of that, I'm there. So this is definitely one of those itineraries. It's perfect.
Awesome. Sounds like everybody's in good hands and lots of knowledge to bring to this itinerary as well. So thanks again for joining us, Ash.
Thank you.
So we'll be traveling on Coral Geographer this time around. She's one of our newest vessels and takes up to 120 guests, so really small and intimate and really that true expedition style vessel. So nice and comfy, but can also get into those places that a lot of the larger vessels can't get into. And Ash, I think one of the biggest things about this itinerary is just the diversity that we've got across the whole itinerary, you know, from the wildlife, geology, the history, you know, we've got places that are really hard to reach, those islands that are hard to reach, iconic national parks, and just seeing all those dramatic coastlines along the way.
Yeah, definitely. It goes from, obviously, you've got your wonderful geology, as you can see in this beautiful photo here, the rugged coastlines, you've got the Great Australian Bight, which has fantastic wildlife and marine life. And then you, like you've mentioned, you go to all of these wonderful little beaches everywhere, crystal clear water, lots of wildlife, bird life. It's just fantastic. There's so much to see.
Yeah, and I think, you know, an emu on a beach. I think that says really iconically Australian, doesn't it?
Very.
Yeah, just a huge diversity of wildlife that we see and marine life as well.
Yeah. So some of the wildlife that you will see, obviously you get your dolphins, right whales, the emu, as you can see here, kangaroos. There are extensive amounts of birds, storm petrels, which actually often land on the ship, and we rescue those as well. So yeah, if you're a wildlife fanatic, then this is a great itinerary for you.
Yeah, wonderful. It sounds like a bird lover's paradise. So
it is.
Good place to be for that. Also, yes, abalone. Sounds like you love a bit of abalone.
Yes.
Yeah, so we get to sample a lot of local produce along the way. So wineries at Margaret River, beautiful lavender scones at the lavender farm, oysters at Coffin Bay, and of course some delicious abalone.
Yes, welcome to the world of abalone. Being a Kiwi, it's actually named Pawa where I'm from, but abalone, for those that are in Australia, this is the green-lipped abalone, and you will get to taste this along the way. For those of you that love seafood, this is a great one for you. So with a little bit of garlic, it's fantastic. So you'll learn about how it's obviously dived, how the divers go down and get it and sort of put it on your plate as well. So you'll get to know about the history.
Wonderful. Well, I certainly haven't tried it yet. That's definitely on the list.
You should. It's the best.
Now we also, obviously there's a lot of history involved with early explorers, European explorers that have come along the coast of Southwest Australia as well. Yes,
so I'm not sure if anyone knows, but the Leeuwin is one name that you will hear a lot about along this coastline, as well as Flinders. So they did a lot of the travel. The Leeuwin, actually, they don't know who the captain was when the Leeuwin came past. They've lost the logbook for the Leeuwin, but they do know that it obviously came through this area. It was owned by the Dutch East Indian Trading Company, but then obviously Flinders is also a massive sort of character that you'll hear a lot about within this region.
Brilliant. Right, so this is just an idea of where we go for this 13-night Adelaide Fremantle. We'll sort of take you on a day-by-day journey, and Ash is going to be here to help us talk that through.
Yes.
So this is Kangaroo Island.
Kangaroo Island, a fantastic place. As you can see, there are a lot of kangaroos here. It was named Kangaroo Island by Flinders himself when he came past. The reason being is they actually ate predominantly kangaroos when they were here in the area, and there are lots of them. So he got the name from there, really. And there's your lavender farm down the bottom. So as mentioned, you'll get to have some lavender scones. They're absolutely beautiful plants, one of my favorites. And then obviously over here on the right, Emu Bay, as I mentioned, the beautiful water. So just a wonderful place to go for a dip. It can be very cold at this time of year still. So keep that in mind when you are packing for this itinerary. We do have wetsuits on board as well if you do wish to go for a swim. So don't worry if you don't have anything like that. We've got you sorted.
Well, that's certainly a contrast to Cairns, where we are at the moment. So yeah. It's probably reached summer temperatures down what it would be down there. So yeah, definitely pack something warm as well, because it can get quite cold. So I think be prepared for the colder weather down there. Pack something warm, definitely.
Yeah. Beanie. It sounds strange, but definitely.
Yeah,
beanie.
That's some good advice. Thanks, Ash.
Yeah.
And what would a trip to South Australia be without going to Coffin Bay to an oyster farm?
Yeah, so you either love them or you absolutely don't love them. Big fan, but you'll go to oyster farms here. So Coffin Bay is very famous in Australia, and they will tell you how obviously their industry works. You'll get to shuck your own oysters and then try them with I think you get a little glass of champagne as well, but also keeping in mind that this is a really great place for wildlife as well. So you get lots of kangaroos, emus, and the area is actually a national park. So if oysters aren't your thing, then you've got other options as well.
Right. So next up is Noit's Archipelago. What a great spot to visit.
Yeah. So from these pictures, just wonderful, absolutely wonderful wildlife, bird life, marine life here. So you have your Australian sea lions and then your New Zealand fur seals. You've got your oyster catcher over here and then some dolphins. So definitely lots to see, lots of animals, and they're really, really cute. So they'll swim right up to the boat or the Explorer, and they'll be darting in and out of the water, catching fish and the likes, and you'll get to witness all of that. So fantastic spot.
Yeah, brilliant. And I believe that, it is such a biodiversity hotspot because of the Leeuwin current that flows eastwards across the Great Australian Bight, bringing sort of the more typically warmer waters.
Yes,
right?
Correct. So the Leeuwin comes down the west coast. It actually comes from the top up near Papua New Guinea. All of that section comes down and brings a lot of warm water with it. That's where it gets its name. And it flows and then meets the Southern Ocean down where the Leeuwin Lighthouse is. And because of that warmer temperature, you get a lot of reef actually down here, and fantastic marine life. It's spectacular.
Awesome. Well, can't wait to see the spot. Haven't been here before, so
you have to go.
Haven't been, so definitely. And then of course, crossing the Bight. How beautiful. This is actually where Australia split from the Antarctica.
Yeah, it did. And here you get, there's the longest stretch of cliffs in the world here that tower up to about 100 meters. So it's a really great experience just to be in the Bight. A lot of people don't get the opportunity to go across there. There are right whales down at this end of the country as well. So really good spot to see those, as well as bird life. And of course, you always get a few dolphins that'll jump up the front too. So it's really great.
Brilliant. And I know we're going to spend a couple of days at sea here. So,
yes.
What sort of things can our guests do on board?
So we have our wonderful guest lecturers on board who will be feeding you with tons of information and education. So they'll do lectures. We also have lots of activities on board as well. So sometimes you can do cooking demonstrations, cocktail classes. I throw the occasional party in there. So yeah, it's a wonderful time and plenty to do when you're at sea.
Sounds like fun. I'd love to join those parties. It
Yes.
sounds great. Now, next up, we go to Middle Island. This is actually a new stop for us, and where we can see this beautiful pink lake.
Yeah, so I didn't get to go last time. As mentioned, it is new, but this lake is a saline lake, and it's on one of the largest islands that make up what we call the RECHERCHE archipelago. So there's also really dense woodland here with paperbarks and eucalyptus, and then you get the beach, the beautiful woodland, and then obviously this wonderful pink lake here, which is, they believe, due to a presence of an organism in the water. So that's where it gets its pink from, and what an amazing spot to be adding to the itinerary. I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah, brilliant. Cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get here either. And I believe there's a wreck just off.
Yes, there is. So when you come into the beach, you can see this, there's not much left, but there is a little bit of a wreck left that you'll be able to sort of have a look when you come into the beach. So a lot of history through here, being with, you know, a lot of whaling as well down this region. So lots of wrecks and all sorts of history.
Fantastic.
It's great.
Now, of course, what could you get more Australian than a kangaroo on the beautiful white sandy beach with turquoise water?
Yes, so this is a phenomenal place, and I actually had my birthday here when we were going across last year. Lucky Bay pretty much sells itself, as you can see from the pictures. You do get occasionally to see kangaroos here. Last year we did do drinks on the beach, so that's definitely amazing watching the sun go down while you're having a couple of beverages. There's great walking, you've got beach combing, you can swim here as well, and then we bring out the kayaks, so you can go for a little bit of a paddle around this great and beautiful coastline.
Yeah, lovely. Just that water looks amazing to swim in.
Yeah.
It looks incredible.
It's crystal clear and fresh, so it's wonderful.
Brilliant. Now, I believe this is one of your favorites, Ash, Woody Island.
Yeah, it surprised me. So this is really great for the hikers. So there's quite a few little options here. You will be guided by the experts, so myself, the team, and our GLs, our guest lecturers, and they will take you on all of these different little hikes. There's a great lookout, which you can see down on the left bottom there, and you'll go all around the island. Fantastic spot for birding. There is also the leafy sea dragon found here as well. So if you're very lucky, at the wharf when you come in and you look down, they actually live in this area. There are a lot down there. There's lots.
Fantastic.
So
brilliant. So definitely one stop that we really have to go to.
Oh yeah, this one's not to be missed.
Yeah, brilliant. And just to reiterate that all of our hikes are actually expert led.
Yes.
Nobody's ever left to their own devices. All either our guest lecturer or expedition leaders will actually lead you on those hikes. So you know, always a good thing to do. So
actually, one thing to mention about Woody Island is the local or the people that run the island, actually, they're with us on the day. So they take us around as well. So they know the island back to front.
That's it. Get some extra knowledge there.
Exactly, yeah.
Wonderful. So next up we go to Albany, which is the oldest colonial settlement in WA, and it's actually older than Perth. So we step back in time a little bit here, we get to discover the town of Albany here, and we have a couple of different options for tours. We can go to the whaling station tour, or we can go check out the Museum of History.
Yeah, I personally haven't done this one, but it sounds fantastic. There's also a lot of First World War history here as well. So if you're into that, then this is the place for you. And it's a really cute little town on the southern coast. It's beautiful.
Brilliant. And then in stark contrast to that, we head off to Augusta to Jewel Caves and the Cape Leeuwin Lighthouse.
Yes, so this is a really beautiful spot. This photo pretty much sums up the Jewel Caves. You'll be walking through these phenomenal formations under the ground. This is a guided tour as well, so you'll have the experts there telling you all about it. And yeah, just a fantastic place for geologists and the like, if that's your little niche. And then the lighthouse. So the Lewin Lighthouse is obviously named after the ship, the Lewin. It's a fantastic little walk up to the lighthouse. You go all the way to the top and get to look out over the ocean there, which is fantastic. And then there's also a couple of walking options here as well. So the Sugarloaf, there's Sugarloaf and then another 2, and you can pick what's your fancy, hard, medium, or easy if you like. And we'll obviously be there guiding you through. Lots of wildflowers, so a really beautiful spot, lots of bird life once again. So brilliant. This is a great day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I think just to reiterate there, nobody's ever forced to go on any of those excursions. No. And we do have different fitness levels for different activities, different fitness levels.
Yeah, definitely. So we always cater to everyone, so no one's left out. And if you don't feel like doing anything, then you're more than welcome to just sit back and relax. But yeah, we will always have options for everybody, easy, hard, or medium. So pick whichever suits you.
Brilliant. And of course, what is going to WA without going to Margaret River Winery?
Oof. Yeah, so the Lewin Winery is fantastic. You'll go there and you'll have food paired with your wine as well, and they'll obviously take you through a wine tasting, which is fantastic. Options to purchase your bottles if you wish at the end as well. This is a really beautiful spot. Margaret River is iconic to Australia. A lot of people always come here and they want to go there just because it's so beautiful, and like we've mentioned, a massive wine region of Australia. There's also great snorkeling opportunities here, as you can see, and down at Hamlin Bay, there's the rays. So if anyone knows about this, you'll be snorkeling in the water, and there are lots and lots of rays that will come right up to you. They'll go over your feet. It's a beautiful experience. No need to panic. You just need to relax when you're in the water. They're not going to harm you. Enjoy. Yeah,
fantastic. And of course, all good things must come to an end. So this is the final day of our trip, and what a beautiful day this is.
Yeah, so this is a fantastic location, Meelup Beach down in Dunsborough. Like I said, the photos don't lie. This is what the water actually looks like. It's a fantastic spot for a little dip. And then you have Cape Naturalist Lighthouse over here, and in the area there's some wonderful walks you can do. So there are 3 options here. The Sugarloaf Walk, which is the most popular, and that's about 3.5 k's. So depending on what you would like to do, you can choose. And there's really great bird life once again, and also wildflowers are really, in this area. It's fantastic. So,
and this is the Cape to Cape track?
Yes, so this is a part of the Cape to Cape track. For any hikers out there, you will actually get to do sections of this along the way. So absolutely beautiful.
So for any avid hikers, that's a must do.
Like me.
There you go. There you go.
That's why I like this itinerary. Swimming and hiking.
Yep. Can't get better than that, really.
And then wine, why not?
Yeah, 100%. Now, I guess one of the other things with all of the beaches that we go to, we can really get in there with our Explorer tenders. It's easy to get on and off the ship with this vessel, and it gets us right onto the shore.
Yeah, so that is the sort of point of difference with Coral Expeditions. We have Zodiacs as well, like a lot of the other expedition ships, but the Explorers are fantastic. They come right up to the ship and you can load straight on. You don't have to jump or, if you're a little bit immobile, it's really easy for you. And then they get right up to the beach. And as you can see in the top left photo here, the tongue comes down and you can walk off. It's very sophisticated and we'll be there. Another thing to point out is down on this coast, the weather can be a little bit wild and rugged. So just come prepared for that. And obviously, if there are places we can't get into due to the weather, we'll just sort of roll on the fly and we'll let you know. So you're prepared for those landings.
Yeah, I think that's some good advice.
Yeah. So
you see these beautiful photos and the beautiful water and you think, oh, I can just wear my swimmers all day, but definitely a little bit different on the southern coastline. Yeah, definitely need a bit of something warmer. So now we do actually do it the other way as well. So we go from Fremantle to Adelaide. There are a few differences in where we actually go. It's also a 13-night expedition, but it is just slightly different with some of those locations that we'll end up going to. So this is an idea of where we go for the Fremantle to Adelaide itinerary. And you've been to these as well,
yes,
some of them.
I have. So Breaksea up there on the left is a wonderful little island, very moody. So for your photographers, this is a great spot. And then also your wildlife, so marine life rather. You get to see a lot of seals here. So, and there's lots of them, and they'll be playing around in the water, and you'll be floating in the Explorer watching them, which is amazing. Bremer Island or Bremer Bay is actually another really great spot for kayaking. So it's a little beach, great beach combing, and then bird life as well. Obviously, you'll get to taste your wonderful abalone, and then you've got Wedge Island down here, which looks like fantastic geology, and obviously the beautiful white sandy beaches of this part of the coastline.
So equally as incredible places the other way around as well.
Yes, yep. Definitely.
And I guess the other thing just to touch on here is the beautiful food that we have on board as well. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. You'll never go hungry. And, with your lunches and your dinners, you get your wines and your beers and your spirits are included as well. Yeah. I guess the other thing to note is what happens if we are, on a beach when it's time for lunch. Like, what do we do?
So if you're ever on an excursion and we're away over the lunch period, the chefs will pack a lunch for you, a little picnic lunch, which will be delicious, and we will take that on the excursions and enjoy that when we're enjoying the scenery. But yeah, you'll be back for dinner every single night, and the Lewin winery, you'll have lunch there. So some of the places you go, food is included as well.
Yep, brilliant. Well, that sums up, this itinerary is really underrated. I think a lot of people don't realize how incredible this part of Australia actually is.
Yeah.
The diversity of those beautiful beaches, the hikes that we go on, the history of this area as well, and a couple of new spots that we're going to this time as well that nobody's been to.
Yeah, which is very exciting. And also it's one of those places that's quite hard to get to. It is on the other side of Australia. So yeah, definitely something not to miss. It's a very, very beautiful and exciting itinerary.
Yep, fantastic. Well, thank you, Ash, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
It was really good to have your knowledge and expertise and first-hand knowledge of being on some of these places before. So, please give our reservations team a call if you want to book us in. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.